Okay guys, so I promise this will be nice and short, so we are going to continue where we left off. This is the video that you should be doing for homework, and what I want us to do next is, again, we drew our Haversian system. This entire thing is one Haversian system, one osteon, and these are the individual units or the building blocks that make up this hard, compact bone. I talked about an onion and how we need more than one osteon, more than one layer, more than one lamella, and so we're going to draw osteons all throughout here. Just kidding, just one. So we need to draw one more from a top view, because remember we sliced our bone like that, and so here's the aerial or top view. We just looked at like the side view here in the walls of that diaphysis. So we're going right up into here and drawing another Haversian system. So I'm going to start off by drawing a circle here. It's the same thing as this circle here, so type into the box what that's called. I am then going to add in my blood vessels. So this is called a Haversian canal. That's what you should have typed into the box. And in this Haversian canal, we have our blood vessels. So here is my vein. And here is my artery. Surrounding our Haversian canal, in our Haversian system, we have little holes. And you should type into the box what these little holes are called. And what you should have typed in is lacuna, or lacunae for plural. In these little empty spaces, we have osteocytes. And so I'm coloring those in green. Osteocytes are, type that into the box, and you should have said bone cells. Osteocytes communicate through canaliculi. So these little guys are called canaliculi, and they communicate from bone cell to bone cell, or osteocyte to osteocyte, telling the other osteocytes when they need to make more. And the answer is bone matrix. So we're going to color our bone matrix in, and this is what keeps our bones nice and dense and sturdy. Okay. Once you are done with that, you should draw two more layers to the point where we end up hitting or bumping into this Haversian system right here. So I'm going to show you what that looks like, and you can do this on your own time once the video ends, not with me. As you are doing this, please be saying every piece out loud as you draw it. It sounds silly. You'll be at home. You might be in the library. Say it out loud. It will stick in your head. But you should be drawing this so they eventually touch. So a whole nother Haversian system from an aerial view. Okay, draw two more lamella. So in total, you'll have a three lamellae in your Haversian system. Now we see empty space here, we see empty space here, empty space here. We know that if we had more time, we would be drawing more Haversian systems or osteons there, because every single bit of compact bone is filled with these strong, sturdy structures, these building blocks. Okay, so I'm going to zoom out, and when you're done, it should look something like this. From there, you can flip to the back of your piece of paper, and we're just going to talk about a little bit about what's in this bone matrix. So you go ahead and flip your paper over, and we'll take a look at that. Here we go. Okay, so on the back there, what I want you to start off by writing is just the number 1, and then the word bone matrix. And we're going to talk first about the framework of the bone matrix, okay? So there's two parts to the bone matrix. There's an organic part, and you've probably heard this word before. Organic means a natural part. And this is 35% of the bone matrix. 35% of the bone matrix is made up of this organic part, specifically collagen. So 35% of the bone matrix is made of this organic collagen. Now, collagen is a tough protein. which holds everything together. Sorry. It's kind of like glue. So it's a tough protein which holds everything together, nice and sturdy, really strong. Now this can be destroyed, collagen can be destroyed if you cook bone. You're probably like, why would you cook bone? Think about chicken. If you cook chicken wings, etc., the collagen, since it's a protein, will denature. You might have heard that word in biology, meaning it kind of it becomes deformed. And so this part can be destroyed if cooked. It's sturdy and only works at the correct body temperature, but if the temperature changes, if it's really, really hot, like if you fry chicken, it will denature. So if you think about eating chicken, that's why when you like eat the chicken wings, you're like, why aren't these bones hard? Well, it's not because the collagen's not there. It is there. It's just destroyed because it was cooked. So that's why some bones feel soft and not as strong. We also have an inorganic part. Oops, I should underline that. And here's the next part, inorganic part. So this means it's not natural. The bone cells or osteocytes cannot make it. Okay, so it's not natural. The bone cells cannot make it. Really sorry about my sniffling. So here we have calcium phosphate. Calcium phosphate is the inorganic part. We get phosphate from food. We get calcium from milk. That's why you need to drink milk, because this is 65% of your bones. So if you're not drinking milk or getting calcium, somehow your bones are not going to be very strong. And this part right here is what provides the hardness. So we have this protein which kind of holds everything together, but this is that firmness and strength in our bones. So provides hardness and strength. When you're growing or when you're younger, your bones are a little bit softer. They have more cartilage in them, but as they form fully, you end up with a lot more of this inorganic part as you get that milk in your bodies and you start to eat more phosphorus and get all those nutrients and vitamins. The very last thing we have to do is just talk a little bit more about compact and spongy bone. You did write a little bit about these in the previous Lecture 1 video, but we have some more to add now. So we looked at, in this entire microstructure drawing, at a long bone, and we specifically looked on the edges of the diaphysis where there's compact bone. So just to gather our thoughts, a couple things about compact bone is it's filled with layers of Haversian systems, making it nice and dense and strong so that our bones don't break, hopefully. Also, it's thickest in the diaphysis. And that's so that we have a nice, strong diaphysis. Think about your femur, your ulna. Those bones are huge. They support a lot of weight. They're used all the time. So we have a lot of compact bone in the diaphysis for strength. And muscles attach to the diaphysis in this compact bone too. Okay. And then spongy bone, which we'll look at in the lab on Friday, is the other type of bone. Again, we didn't look at this because we looked at the diaphysis, and spongy bone is in the epiphysis. And it, on the other hand, looks very spongy, but again, it's not soft. A word we have for all this porous look to it with all the holes in it is called cancellous. You should be familiar with, or start to become familiar with, this vocab word. Cancellous means porous, that spongy look to it. It still has Haversian systems, but they are not tightly packed like in that compact bone. Instead, they have trabeculae, Trabeculae. They're kind of like rod-like structures. So in a compact bone, we have eversion system next to eversion system next to eversion system, but now you have all these eversion systems in these trabeculae, like branchings of bones, and that's why we see this porous look with all the holes in between all these trabeculae, which are filled with eversion systems. So it's just more of the structure through which they fill is a little bit different and not as compact. Just to reiterate, it's spongy looking with many spaces, but again, it's still hard. And it's found in the epiphysis, as opposed to compact bone, which there's a little bit of in the epiphyses, but primarily compact bone is in those diaphyses, nice and strong. Okay, so here's this. You can pause your video here if you want to take a look at this again. Thank you.